Recently we made a game, but we have one big problem. The game is not marketable.
So in this video we're gonna try to save our game from the graveyard.
We will try 5 different tricks that have already worked for other projects in the past.
We will then spend $200 on an ad campaign to see if these techniques actually work. We will also lift the dark secret behind fake ads. Our measurement for marketability is the CPI, or cost per installation, which is basically the money we spend divided by the amount of downloads we get. In our first test we had a CPI of $6, which is way too high. So the goal for today is to reduce our CPI to under $1.50. This may sound really ambitious, so let's find out if this is possible.
Before jumping into the methods, you might ask why we have not applied these tricks already, and well, the reason is that we just wanted to test the raw gameplay to see the initial potential of the game, and some of the methods might affect retention and playtime.
And we will change a bunch of things, so the first thing we do is duplicating the whole project so that we will not screw up everything. Every of the method aims for the same goal, which is reducing our CPI. So let's start with our first trick.
Colors and color contrast. And having a marketable game means having a game that people want to play. That's why using appealing colors and good color contrast is really important. Of course, the best colors depends on the game. For example, a horror game will have a completely different vibe compared to a hybrid casual puzzle game. One really helpful tool when talking about colors and contrast is Adobe Color Wheel. It is a great way to explore and find color schemes. You can also extract themes from other images that look appealing to better understand the color combinations. Based on some studies, blue is the favorite color for most of the people. And also based on our experience, having some blue main elements in the game, like for example water or blue stigments, helps to bring low CPI most of the time. Of course, this is not a guarantee and everything depends on the game, but we want to try to make the soldiers blue, well actually more like blue. It could not make much sense to just change the color of our street. So to also try different color combinations, we first need to create a new environment. That's why we create some desert outpost type. And when talking about good contrast, I mean what is better contrast than white and only giving the playable elements a strong color. Also, red is naturally seen as a color of danger. So for one video we will make our zombies red. So I think it looks much more eye-catching than the original colors.
It's always important that the game is easy to understand by just watching an image or screenshot or GIF or just a few seconds of video, because people will only watch a few seconds of the ad before they decide to swipe away or to download the game. Which brings us to our next step: clear gameplay and easy to understand. That's why we really want to simplify the whole game and remove every life bars, UI and every unnecessary stuff like this. Also, now people need to play the wave, collect the rewards, open a new menu, buy new soldiers or upgrade the base, and those are just too many steps to show in a few seconds of gameplay. So to simplify the whole process, we will just show some selection cards so that everyone understands the main loop of the game. Which brings us to our next method: tweak the gameplay. But this is a bit dangerous topic because we don't want to create fake ads. I mean, every one of you have probably at least seen one of these ads where you see a really nice ad, you download the game and the game looks just nothing like the ad. And the reason why this is dangerous is basically because these fake ads can affect retention and playtime of your game. And also users can leave a bad review if they download the game from a fake ad. But if you see another fake ad in the future, now you know why they are making these fake ads. The reason is just to reduce the CPI, because as long as your LTV, the money you earn with each download, is higher than the CPI, the money you spend for each download, the game is profitable. And even what they are doing, sometimes they're adding some mini games or a small tutorial where they just show this fake ad element in the opening of the game so that people don't feel tricked. Anyway, in our case, I would not call it even a fake ad, because we have almost the same mechanic and almost the same core loop. We just simplify the gameplay. But another thing we do to simplify the game and to tweak the gameplay a little bit is adding a stacking mechanic instead of the numbers. Although stacking is really old, the big stacking trend was in 2020, and well, it is still a valid approach to make things easy to understand. And to increase our CTR or click-through rate, we even have another trick which we can apply. So, for example, we had this game which was really not marketable, but by tweaking the gameplay and exaggerating a little bit, we could reduce the CPI by 80%, which was really insane for us.
Exaggeration and satisfying moments works just good, of course only if it fits with the game, because it's just pleasing to watch, and that's the main purpose of creating a video ad or trailer for a game. We want to create something that people enjoy watching, so they will download the game. hopefully. So looking at our game, we will just exaggerate the amount of zombies.
And we also want to be sure to record smooth videos without any frame drop. So for that we use the Unity recorder. I mean, this video would not run at 10 frames in the editor.
Our main goal is to bring down our CPI from $6 to under $1.50. And it's not only about having something pleasing on the screen, but also that people really understand and like the gameplay. That's why sometimes it makes sense to play bad.
And even though most of the people say it's really annoying when you see an ad where the people intentionally play bad, this method works really well. Of course, everything always depends a little bit on the game. And this method especially works good on puzzle games. Maybe because it causes frustration in the people, or something like, hey, let me try, I can do it better, or whatever feeling. And in our case, for example, removing the soldier from the obvious correct position and then failing should hopefully do the job. It's not really that bad play. I mean, we could just play super dumb, but I guess it looks just better when we clean the zombies. But even if we have a high CTR before downloading the game, people will be directed to our App Store. Which brings us to one bonus tip we have at this point.
Of course, ASO is science for itself, and if you really master it, you can get tons of organic downloads. But when running ad campaigns, the App Store is not really one of the most important factors, because most of the ad watchers are already convinced that they want to play the game, so they just click this nice download button, which, by the way, if you haven't done already, go download our game, we'll see the fact.
Based on your feedback, we also pushed an update, and we added 3 more soldiers and a few different types of zombies. We fixed some bugs and improved a few things, so thanks for that. If you want to give us feedback, make sure to join our Discord server or let us know in the comments, whatever you want. We really appreciate it, and good ratings also optimize our App Store.
Most of the successful games have some text and other elements on the screenshots, and this hopefully improves our App Store presence so that everyone who clicks on the ad will also download the game. Anyway, we now have our 4 ad campaign videos, and compared to our previous videos, we think that they look much more appealing. Let us know in the comments what do you think.
And one thing to mention is that big publishers or bigger companies test hundreds or even thousands of ads to find a creative winner. But for the beginning, we will test 4 ads, and if we can reach a CPI under $2, we will think about how we can increase our budget to test even more videos. We are focusing on the US market because it's just an industry standard to make the first tests in the USA. Of course, there are different strategies, and the game might work well in other countries and not work good in the US. We also want to mention that having a low CPI is not the only factor for having a successful game. I mean, you can have a successful game with any CPI. We are just testing on Meta or Facebook, Instagram, whatever. There are lots of different platforms to test on. For example, TikTok, Google Ads, Arisos, AppLovin, all the in-app advertisement network. We set our budget to $200, so we want to see around 150 downloads. Now enough talk, let's get into testing to confirm or to nullify all of our tricks and techniques and see if we can actually reduce our CPI. So let's check the results. Well, first we need to wait a few days. Well, first one of our ads got rejected because of... I'm not sure who's supposed to be here, if it's these guys or the zombies. So, well, anyway, after requesting a review, everything is fine. And okay, looking at the results, our initial goal was to reduce the CPI from $6 to under $1.50, and we have a CPI of around $2. Yeah, that's a bit failed. But we can see that the method somehow worked because we divided our CPI by 3. So to be honest, we are not 100% sure how our next steps will look like. There are basically 2 options. Option 1 is to keep working on the game and keep testing the game. But while working on the game, we don't earn any money with the game. So we have to see if we will invest the time, efforts and money. And the other option is to throw the game away and start a new project. Well, we will definitely prototype a little bit. We hope this video was helpful for you. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. Yeah, see you next time. Ciao.